Today, we're talking about a topic that's scarier than a clown in a dark room. Debt. Oof, did you feel that collective gasp? I get it. Debt isn't the most comfortable topic to talk about, but in the famous words of Dua Lipa, if you're under him, you ain't getting over him. I am so sure she was talking about debt. So if you keep pushing forwards, but he keeps pulling you backwards, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to talk about 2 debt repayment strategies, and at the end, I'll tell you which one I recommend. It's time to get on top of your debt, so let's dive in. Before we can strategize how to pay off your debt, we need to know what we're working with. So to start out, make a list of all your debts, including the minimum payment due on each and the interest rates. From here, identify your high interest debt. I define high interest debt as anything that costs you over around 7% per year in interest. Credit cards, personal loans, payday loans all fall into this category. The reason we prioritize these debt repayments is simple. If the interest on your debt exceeds what you could potentially earn in the stock market, which historically averages around 7 to 8%, it's best to eliminate that financial burden first. It's all about opportunity cost and determining the most effective use for your money. Once you've pinpointed your high interest debt, you can apply one of 2 debt repayment strategies. The first is the debt snowball method. The debt snowball method is a simple debt reduction strategy designed to help individuals gradually eliminate their debts. Here's how the method works. To start, arrange your high interest debt from smallest to largest, regardless of the interest rates. While continuing to meet the minimum payments on all your debt, allocate any extra funds in your budget to pay off the smallest debt first. Once that smallest debt is settled, take the money you were directing towards it and apply it to the next smallest debt. This process creates a snowball effect, gradually increasing the amount of money available for debt repayment as you move on to larger debts. The debt snowball method is effective because it leverages the psychological and emotional aspects of personal finance. Seeing your debts be eliminated one by one creates a positive feedback loop, which can boost your confidence and propel you to tackle larger debts with even more determination. The second method is the debt avalanche method. The debt avalanche method is another approach to debt repayment that aims to minimize the total interest paid. Here's how this method works. To start, arrange your high interest debt in descending order based on the interest rates, with the highest interest rate debt at the top and the lowest at the bottom. While continuing to meet the minimum payments on all your debts, allocate any extra funds in your budget to paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first. Once that debt is settled, take the money that was directed towards it and apply it to the debt with the next highest interest rate. As this process continues, it creates an avalanche effect, where you can progressively go harder on your lower interest debt. By consistently following this method, you can save money on interest payments over the long term. So which method should you choose? Like with anything in personal finance, which method you choose will be based on personal preference. Here is a table comparing both options. Those seeking the mathematically optimal method may lean towards the debt avalanche method, but those seeking quick wins and are motivated by a sense of achievement may prefer the debt snowball method. In my opinion though, for the vast majority of people, the debt snowball method is going to work best, and that's the strategy I would recommend. The psychological aspects of personal finance are so often overlooked, and when you're already in debt, you have to leverage everything you can to get out of it. The only circumstance in which I may suggest considering the avalanche method is if it would result in significant savings. To determine how much interest you'll pay under each method, check out the Vertex debt calculator. I'll link it in the description below. Let me know if you'd like me to do a tutorial on how this calculator works, and I'd be happy to make a video walking you through it. So once your high interest debt is squared away, what next? I recommend using the freed up cash to first build up your emergency fund to your desired level. This will protect you from having to rely on high interest debt like credit cards and personal loans when you're faced with an emergency. Once the high interest debt is under control and your emergency fund is in place, you can then turn your attention to investing and paying off low interest debt. When paying off your low interest debt, you can apply the same strategy. That is the debt snowball method or the debt avalanche method. And that's a wrap. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye for now.